Guys, before we get started with this video, I would just like to say if you're enjoying my content, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and give that notification bell a big ol' smack for me. It helps the channel out a lot. But anyway, hope you guys enjoy the video. Hello everybody, and welcome back to Ask Barney. This is episode number 12 here on the Barney Hunter 12 YouTube channel. Oh yeah, it's so creative and funny and amusing and all that stuff. Anyways, yeah, I know it's been a little bit since I've, uploaded another episode of this series, and that's because, well, I started making Barney Craft, which definitely go check that out. It's where I play Minecraft. And then before that, I took a 2-week break from making YouTube videos, so, yeah, that led to this series kinda going silent for a little bit. But we're back! We are back! So, if you don't know what Ask Barney is, it's pretty simple. You ask me questions in the comment section, and I answer them. It's as simple as that. So if you want a chance to be featured in Ask Barney episode 13, go ahead and leave your question in the comment section below. So today on screen, we are playing a game that honestly I think is a troller's paradise. It is called Slippery Stairs. You're going up these stairs that are made of ice. Very difficult to go up. You can easily slip and fall all the way back down. But there's a game pass you can buy where you can actually push other people and they will slip a very decent distance down. Now, I hate that it's a game pass, but I also can kind of understand at the same time because, you wouldn't want everybody having that ability because then it would just be absolute chaos. It's pretty cheap as well. It's not that expensive. I believe it is just 80 Robux. So honestly, very much worth it. So what I'm going to be doing is not even trying to beat the game. I'm just going up halfway and then waiting for people to come near me and then I push them all the way down. So yeah, it's a great place to troll. It's a lot of fun, and of course it makes people very angry. So anyways, with that aside, let's go ahead and jump into the first question, shall we? What is your favorite kind of cheese? Oh, I'm pretty picky. I can't eat cheese just by itself. It actually makes me gag. But I love cheese when it's mixed with other things. But cheeses like mozzarella and mozzarella sticks. I love to put Parmesan on top of things, like chicken, meatballs. On my burgers, I like to put white American cheese on those. And then, for some of my chicken recipes, I like to put a Mexican 4 cheese on top of that. So, yeah, I'm not a guy who will just eat straight up cheese, but I love putting cheese onto things. So there you go. There's a small list of the cheeses I use. Hi, Barney. Is your hair made of turkey bacon or regular bacon? I want to eat it. Well, you see, I am a true bacon hair. It is made of real pork bacon. Turkey bacon is not real bacon, alright? Chicken bacon, same thing. It's not real bacon, although chicken bacon is pretty good. Before I was on keto and I was doing a, low-fat diet, I used to use chicken bacon. But now I use real bacon. But, yeah, no, you can't eat my bacon, though. I'm sorry, you can't. It is my hair. If you eat it, I'm gonna go bald, and I don't want to go bald, okay? Next question! How are you? Sweaty. Very sweaty. It's getting warmer, and I am sweating. A lot. So, moist might be a good answer to this question. What year did you start Roblox trolling, and who told you about YouTube? Nobody really told me about YouTube. I'm sure I learned about it for the first time when I was in school, and YouTube was one of the applications on, our iPads and one of the websites on the computers. That's probably when I heard about YouTube for the first time, or maybe other kids talking about it, or whatever. And there are a couple trolling videos from before 2018, but when I started doing, cafe trolling as we know it now, that was, late 2018. That was when I think the first, real trolling cafe game video thingies came out. Yes, they're thingies. Since you won't tell us how old you are, will you tell us what year you were born in? I was born in the year of 1746. Yes, I have unlocked the key to immortality. It's just that I don't let a lot of people know about that because then the government will try to, do experiments on me to try to figure out my secrets. And I don't really want to, do that. I don't want to consent to a thing like that. So I have been on the run from the United States government for a solid, probably 50 years. something like that. Honestly, could be more than that, because I'll tell you, once you pass like 200 years old, it's really hard to keep track of time, because it's just, you've been around so long, and the time's going by so quick, you can hardly keep up with it anymore. But I'll tell you what, I gotta keep up with the United States government so that they can't keep up with me. And I know the feds are watching right now. You'll never catch me alive! Because I'm immortal! Wait, then you would catch me alive. I don't know. That will make my brain hurt. Next question! If you could go back to the past and change anything about yourself, would you? And if you did, what would you change? Of course, there's a part of me that would want to do that, but I also know that God's plan for me is way better than anything I could come up with. Everything that's happened in my life up to this point, good and bad alike, was planned out by Jesus, and you know what? His plan's better than mine, so, yeah, of course I'd want to change some things, but then, taking out some bad things might have prevented some good things from happening in my life. I don't know, And honestly, Scripture's pretty clear that, God puts these hardships in our lives not to hurt us. He puts them in there to strengthen us and to teach us, really, to teach us. Suffering builds character. As brutal of a quote as that is very much true. I know we got very deep there, but I feel like that is the most appropriate answer for that question. Do you ever get tired of diarrhea and fart jokes? No. I am the kind of guy that will laugh about the same thing over and over and over and over again. There have been times where I've laughed at one thing for like 45 minutes straight. And why do I think it's so funny? I don't know. It just is. Poop is always funny. See, I even laughed thinking about it. Well, also I'm thinking of how stupid it is. I also think it's funny because of how stupid it is that I find it funny. So it's not only that I think, poop and farts and all that is funny. It's that I think it's funny how stupid it is that I find it funny. So there you go. There's two things that make me laugh in one kind of joke. So there you go. And of course, it makes other people roll their eyes, and that's always fun. So there you go. There's 3 things. Have you ever considered admin abusing in a training? I feel like it would be very entertaining to see all the trainees freak out and get confused why their master is admin abusing. As fun as that would be, and I mean, it would be fun, you also have to consider how fast I would get demoted. Like, trainings are swarming with admins. Usually high-ranking people are there as well. Probably people who can demote me. So I would get demoted in a matter of minutes. So, yeah, sometimes I think of scenarios of ways I can, troll in certain ways and stuff. But I also have to consider the idea of, okay, is this going to result in me, getting fired immediately? And therefore, I don't have a video anymore, I can't just think of, oh, this is fun, let's do this. I have to also consider, is this going to last long enough for a video? And I can tell you right now, admin abusing in a training where there's just admins absolutely crawling all over the place is not going to last long. At all. No matter how fun it is. Those few minutes will be fun, but it's still only a few minutes. What was your favorite old Roblox game from 2010 or so on? Ooh, good question. I don't think I would have a number 1 there, but I'll give you a short list. Work at a Pizza Place was an absolute classic, and it's honestly amazing. The story of Work at a Pizza Place, I think, deserves a documentary of its own, man. It's incredible how long that game has been around. Natural Disaster Survival, that's another classic game. There was this other game called DML Prison that I used to play a long time ago. That was like a relic of old Roblox, and that's completely dead now, and it's, very outdated and such. Let's see, what else was there? Well, I used to play destroy games all the time. For people who know my lore and where the Barney Hunter 12 name came from, you know that I loved to play destroy games. I also kind of liked hotel games, believe it or not, but not like hotel games like Bloxton or, the games that had massive groups in them. Just hotel builds where you would go in, there was a pre-built hotel, and you would check yourself in and you would enjoy all the stuff that there was around to do. There weren't like admins around every corner that were going to try to ban you for having a little fun, Now, of course, there wasn't really anybody to troll either, so I guess I wouldn't be banned anyway, but I don't know. I guess it depends on the way you view that one. But Yeah, I'd have to probably think really hard on that one, because there's a lot of games I could name. But for the sake of time, let's just keep it at those games. What state do you live in? A state of constant denial, and despair, and anxiety, and all those fun and amazing things. Ha ha! I love my life! Do you like dark chocolate? For most of my life, I didn't. I thought that it was too bitter. But then I tried some, dark chocolate that's not, like the 80% dark chocolate. And I was like, okay, this is actually good. And the Hershey Special Dark, that is very good. Although, honestly, I don't even know if that's really dark chocolate, because that's almost too sweet to be dark chocolate. But I remember at one point I would have a square of dark chocolate every day, because I heard it's actually good for your heart and good for your blood pressure. Or one of those two? Maybe both? I don't know. I'm not a doctor. Never claimed to be. So don't arrest me. But anyway, yeah, I used to have a square of dark chocolate every day. Now I'm on the keto diet, so yeah, there's too many carbs in there, so I don't do that anymore. Next question! You were interested in the weather as a kid, but does the weather still interest you now? To an extent, yes, but nowhere near as much as it did when I was a kid. Once YouTube came into the picture, I started to focus on that, and hey, seemed to work out well for me, didn't it? It didn't work out for the first, 6.5 years, but then, in 2019, it really took off. So, yeah, I think I, maybe made the right choice. Maybe. Just maybe. But I will say, lightning still fascinates me. It is a very interesting thing, and scary sometimes, cause, you gotta respect the power of lightning. Like, if you do some research on how powerful that stuff is, man, you don't mess around with it, I'll tell you that right now. And, high winds are pretty cool, except when they knock out my power, then I am really upset about it. But yeah, it still interests me. I still sometimes watch storms when they roll in, but, I don't do, research on the weather like I used to as a kid. Like, I was gonna be a meteorologist. Now I'm a stupid, dumb Roblox troller. I don't know, maybe I didn't make the right choice. Why do you think admins always power trip? Honestly, human nature. I really think it is just a problem with human nature. Power, by its nature, I think, corrupts people. I mean, look, why do you think so many politicians are bad people? And people who end up having a lot of money, and one could argue money is power, and, a lot of rich people are greedy and keep money to themselves instead of actually helping people. I think it is just a problem with human nature. When we get power or a lot of money, we want to keep it to ourselves. We don't want to use it to help people. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that there's nobody with power in the world who isn't using it for righteous means, and there's nobody using their money for good, but I would say that it is way easier to be selfish with power and money and all that. It is way easier to do that than to be selfless and to use it for good, or to be fair when you have power or a position of authority. It is harder to be fair with it. It is way easier to just do what you want and let yourself get away with whatever. It is much easier. And another thing of human nature is we naturally gravitate towards whatever is easier to do. If something is more difficult for us to do, we don't want to do it. We would rather do something that's easier. And usually, being selfish is a lot easier than being selfless. It is a lot easier. Now, again, I'm not saying that there are no people in the world who, use power for good and money for good. What I'm saying is it is way easier to be selfish than to be selfless. So that's why I think a lot of times, more times than not, people with power just serve themselves instead of try to serve others. And I think people need to take note of that and be like, you know what? It would be easier for me to just do something that's, maybe would serve me better in this situation. But you know what? What's the right thing to do in this situation? What's the right thing to do? That is what I think people need to start doing more. I know that this kind of turned into a deep discussion here, but I think that people need to start, when they make a decision on whether they should do something or not, they need to decide not what's easier, not what's more convenient, what's right in this situation and what's wrong. Or if there's nothing that's necessarily wrong, what would be the better thing to do? What would be the more selfless thing to do in this situation? That's what I think, anyway. Why did you stop reading the names in the Barista Basher parts of the videos? I just got off of a whole rant about, hey, we should do what's, harder, basically. Well, not necessarily, but anyway, Because it's easier. I'm a hypocrite. But no, that, and also because when I was reading the names, it was taking up 2 whole minutes of the video, okay? It was taking up 2 whole minutes, and honestly, I think that people are more likely to actually look at the Barista Bashers if it's only, like, 30 seconds rather than 2 minutes. People are gonna lose interest after, like, 30 seconds. So, yeah, so it's A, because it's easier for me, even though it's kind of hypocritical of me to say now, but B, also because I think it's better for the viewer, and it's better for the Barista Bashers as well. That's why I kind of changed that. Why do you burp during recordings? Hey, there we go. Here's a question to lighten the mood a little bit. We were getting kind of serious over here. Cause it's funny. Whenever I'm editing and I hear myself burp, I crack up almost every time. And honestly, I think that a lot of times it's unexpected. You know, a lot of YouTubers don't do that, right? Like, name another YouTuber who does that. And if you can name another YouTuber who does that, name another YouTuber who does it as much as I do. I think that it's just unexpected, and therefore it's funny. You know, I heard something somewhere that by human nature, we laugh at things that are unexpected, right? That's like what we find humorous, and what's more unexpected than when you're in the middle of a conversation, just out of nowhere, someone does that, right? Now, others might think it's gross, and I get comments saying that sometimes, but hey, you know what? That's what I do, and you know what? I'm still here. I'm not demonetized yet, so I think I'm gonna keep doing it. How tall are you? I can tell you under 6 feet, so therefore I am never going to get a girlfriend. I'm never going to get married, I'm never going to have children, and it's all because I'm under 6 feet tall. No, I'm just kidding. I actually legit made a joke about this in the latest episode of Barney Craft. I think it was episode 7. There was a giant that spawned out of one of my lucky blocks, you know, and it's a hostile mob, and it didn't notice me, and I said, oh, it didn't notice me because I'm not 6 feet tall. I'm too small for him. Hey, you know what? I might not get any girls, but hey, guess what? At least the giants don't see me. It wasn't that funny, Barney. Why don't you talk about your personal life? Personal life? Oh, you mean that life that I live when I go outside the door and I actually touch grass? Oh, I don't have one of those. Yeah, no, this is my life. You see, I am actually the character you're looking at on screen. Like, there's no person here. Like, people ask for a face reveal all the time. You're looking at it. Like, well, I don't know if I'm facing away from you right now, but you see my face in the game. I am just a legitimate Roblox character. That is what I am, okay? This is my personal life. Going up and down ice stairs and pushing people. That is my personal life. That's what I do outside of the cafe games and stuff, you know? That's my work area, you know, that's my workplace. This is just me in my personal time, just pushing people downstairs. It's a wonder I haven't gotten arrested for physical assault. Barney, what type of Christian are you? Honestly, I am non-denominational. Honestly, I'm kinda going through a bit of a religious turmoil right now. I'm not really sure what I believe. It's kind of a difficult situation that I'm in right now. And it's something that I think is going to be going on for quite some time. So I really don't know. For right now, I am non-denominational. Maybe once I get through this trial period, maybe I'll learn something new and might change my perspective on things. But as of right now, at the recording of this video, I am a non-denominational Christian. I just believe that Jesus Christ is the Son of God. He came, died for our sins, rose again, victorious over it, and is now offering us freedom from our sins. That is what I believe. But, yeah, I think that is going to wrap it up for Ask Barney episode 12. So if you want a chance to be featured in Ask Barney episode 13, the unlucky 13, or maybe it's the lucky 13, go ahead and leave your question in the comments section below. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.